Well, it's a very exciting day for rugby both in Australia and New Zealand. There's been rumours and innuendo around what might have been planned, and Mark and I are delighted to be able to announce today that next year in 2021 we're launching a Trans-Tasman competition involving the 5 New Zealand teams and the 5 Australian teams. So it's been a lot of planning in the background, but a wonderful day to announce it. We are close nations and we have a lot of dialogue, formally and informally, and our teams across the ditch have been working quietly on this becoming a reality, and it's just wonderful for both games in both nations to see that happen today. You know, I think it's really important that our clubs get as many home games as they possibly can, because the whole rugby economy has been hurt during COVID, and who knows if COVID's going to have a lag effect next year, so we need to prepare for that. And whatever we can do from National Union's point of view to support our state unions in getting home games to drive their commercial outcomes is really, really important.
You know, there's huge benefits to both countries from working closely together in this space, and we've been really committed for some time to be able to reach a competition format that can work for both teams and our clubs, and I think most importantly the fans. You know, this is hugely exciting for fans. We've launched Rugby Super Rugby Aotearoa earlier in the week, as the Australians have done with their domestic competition, and that's landed really well. This is sort of like icing on the cake here now, with a premier competition with some of the world's best players, world's best rugby brands, all coming together for a short, sharp competition we think will drive a huge amount of excitement. We've had some great banter with Rob since being over here on Monday, you know, about the competitions at all levels. Bledisloe Cup's been a great series. We know there are some strong teams coming through in Australia. We've got some great young talent coming through, so we'll be expecting those teams to be really strong. And I know our clubs are hugely excited by a chance to pit themselves against the Aussies. Yeah,
we've got an agreement in place on how revenue goes between the countries around which competitions are being played in which nations, so that's all been agreed.
Where's it likely to be?
Well, we're just working through that really. I mean, we think it's a great initiative. We think it'll bring a huge amount of interest to the competition itself, and it'll be a massive opportunity for cities and regions across Australasia to get excited about pitching something to the competition to look for opportunities to stage that. So we're not wedded to any solution yet or any destination, but we'll certainly be getting into that work very soon. We're very aligned about wanting this to be a world-class competition, so absolutely that's the vision for next year. You know, it's critical that we make it a fantastic starting point, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, we're just finalising the draw, so we're working with our new broadcast partner for next year, Nine and Stan, and through that dialogue we'll firm up the draw in the coming week or so. We're trying to be sensible about how we manage this travel and the movements of the team. I mean, every club will have 2 home games and they'll have 2 away games, and then, as Mark just said, this super round, which I think will be first in rugby, certainly in the Southern Hemisphere, I think is going to attract a huge amount of interest. So the structure of it has been carefully created, and I think, you know, given it's a short form, you know, it'll be high octane, very intense 6-week competition at the right time of the year. I think our fans will really have something to get behind.
Oh, look, the dialogue with our SANZAAR partners in SANZAAR office is still ongoing as to how that works, Tom. So we'll certainly take our time. We're very respectful of the role that SANZAAR have had in competitions, you know, across a long period of time now, and the dialogue with them has been really constructive. So at the same time, our operational teams have got really strong relationships as well. So we'll just work through that with all the parties and in the near future and see where we land.
Spoken to the Aussies?
Yeah, they've been involved in all the discussions, so they've been fully aware of what every nation's having to plan for their domestic component of the season. I mean, COVID has certainly totally disrupted everything that we could do and we used to do, and all of us have had to look inwards to try and work through how can we keep our game being played in our own countries, and that's what we've done, and this is, you know, a step forward back to an international dimension of rugby.
We have a huge amount of sympathy for what, you know, Argentinian rugby are having to work through at the moment, not only at Hagueri's level but also with regards to the Pumas and what they've gone through and committed to be here at this tournament, and shown a huge amount of courage and we certainly feel for everyone involved, the Argentinian rugby and the families of those players and staff that are here. So looking forward to them to playing them tomorrow with the All Blacks, obviously, and but certainly, you know, thoughts are with them as they've got to work through this COVID impacted world, as Rob was saying.
From Rugby Australia's point of view, to be able to have a full domestic competition followed by this Trans-Tasman crossover with the excitement that will bring, and then moving into 3 tests against France for ourselves and a full rugby championship. That's the ideal plan, and that's what SANZAR and the joint venture partners are working towards. So what Mark and I have committed to is just locking down 2021. SANZAR's committed to the same, understanding what we think international travel might allow for, and if we can get that done, then we'll worry about 2022 down the track.
Everyone's got a very open mind to the future, I think. Everyone knows that rugby is changing and has to change, and so we'll just stay live in those discussions and stay really constructive in them and see where we get to.
We're very satisfied with the agreement we've come to with Nine and Stan, and I think you've already seen just in the 5 days since we announced that new partnership, the promotional support and the attention that rugby is getting across the entire Nine group of platforms has just been outstanding, and it's something that we're looking forward to building on next year.
And we just want to congratulate Rugby Australia for the way that Hamish and Rob and their team have worked through really trying circumstances.